All right, good evening. Get the camera connected up here. Lights, camera. Action? Action. There we go. Alright, 2021 Spectra. Hey, AZ. Refresh this. The list on the left should be accurate as far as who has what. The ones that are open are the Indians because I didn't list them like a dummy. But yeah, all right. Try to hide the most as best I can. One of these days I should go cordless like the rest of the cool people. Uh-oh. I don't like that look. Go cordless and maybe get myself a new camera. It isn't so touchy if you bump the cable. Three Indians. I suppose technically now I should have had him as Guardians because didn't they switch over on Friday and tried to kill a bunch of people at the team shop and stuff with the sign? Alright. Well, there was the bottom I just opened up. I forgot to spin around the box on the top. I can try to show it. Here's the tape on the top. Really close-up view. So this was sealed from Panini. All right. Yeah, the way I took the article when I read it was it wasn't actually hung on the side of the stadium yet. They were like working on it or whatever, and it just fell off. Like they didn't have it braced good enough initially. But yeah, not a good look. There's two. Is there only four in these things? Oh yeah, thought there were six. All right, pack number one. Here we go. Good luck. And thank you again. Jonathan India kicks it off. See if we can get that white fuzz out of here. I don't have too many of these sizes around. 39 of 40 for Jonathan. Yeah, congrats, Joseph. Off and running. Next up for the Padres, Blake Snell. Uh-oh. Maybe not. Let's see, Tampa's on here too. All right, it's a nice one. 2 of 10. Padres and Emery. We're going to have to random this here at the end. They were nice enough to tag both teams on here. Conforto, Fireworks Fabric. No numbers there, but it is game used. Congrats on that, Jose. And the last card out of pack 1 is Joey Votto. $34.50 for Votto. All right, card 1 out of pack 2, Tim Anderson. $67.75 for Tim. Next era for Dominguez. $75.75. And player Warren, of course, for the Yankees. And then we have Jose Garcia. It's a cool patch. For the Reds, on card on the auto, 56 out of 199. And player Warren. Congrats on that, Joseph. And then we get Casey Mize, last card out of pack 2. Two of 8 there for Casey. And whatever pattern that is. Congrats on that, Scott. All right, pack 3, Stanton for the Yankees. $8 of 40. There for Giancarlo. Building blocks for Dalton Varsho. Let's see, it did not open up enough of this size top load. Alright. The little mark. The divot right there is, I think, in the top load. It's not on the card. But there's no numbers here for Dalton. And for Miami, Nick Nieder. $77 out of 199. It kind of comes through there. It is a little bit. Marlins for John. Congrats there. And the last card from pack 3 is Jared Kelenic in the Seattle Blue. 49 out of 50 for Jared. Alright, last pack out of box one. Leading off with a die cut for Madison Bumgarner. Six of 15. Madison and the Diamondbacks. Rising rookie Will Crow. $50 of 75 for the Pirates. Congrats on that, Emery. Zach McKinstry, base. No numbers there for Zach. And the final card out of box one is a redemption for Braylon Marquez. And the Cubs. Not sure what neon. Oh, neon blue. We're going to guess say it's like that, and out of 50. Congrats on that, Matthew. Number 2. All right, Miguel Sano kicks it off. $21 out of 50 for the Twins. And we got Bubba Starling, spectacle jersey. $32 of 75 for the Royals and Matthew. Tucker Davidson for the Braves on the jersey auto. Again, on card here on the auto. $106 out of 199. Congrats on that, Keith. And a die cut for Alex Kirilov and the Twins. $10 out of 45 for Shaden. All right, second pack, another die cut. Corey Seager. For the Dodgers and Matthew, 11 out of 45. Doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason where they put the serial number here. Jahmai Jones, rising rookie. $27 out of 50 for the Orioles and Scott. Here's someone for the Marlins, Jazz Chisholm. And that is on card. a little scope action going there. 99 and 99 for Jazz. Congrats on that, John. And the last card out of pack 2 is the Diego Garcia, base rookie. What numbers there for the Yankees? Number 3, Anthony Rizzo. $55/75 for Rizzo and the Cubs. Miami Dynamic Duels. There's some nice patches here. Two of 10. Sixto and Braxton Garrett. And again, congrats, John. Then we got an auto for the White Sox, Andrew Vaughn. That is on a sticker. And it does not have any numbering. Congrats on that, Dominic. And a final card out of pack 3 is a nice, cool looking Dylan Carlson. Got the Mojo and like Color Blast kind of all blended into one. That's the wrong one. So cool it's not serialized. Well, congrats on that, Robert. I didn't want to give these up. Alright, let's see what was so hard to open up. Rafael Devers. It's like a little gold here out of 10. Eight of 10 for Mr. Devers. 12 of 15, Max Impact. Joey Votto on the patch for the Reds. That is game worn for Joey. Congrats on that, Joseph. And for the Cubbies, how about a gold Sammy Sosa? You got most of that on the sticker, too. Illustrious Legends. 9 of 10 for Sammy. Congrats on that, Matthew. This is a nice pack in its own right. And the last card out of box 2 is an Evan White. Evan is 17 out of 75. I thought these were going to be more thicker than they were. I forgot what it was all about. Spectra here. Alright, box 3. Starts off with a base Tatis. No numbers there. AJ Minter. Spectacle relic for the Braves. No numbers there. And it is player worn. Congrats on that, Keith. Go back to Miami, Lewin Diaz. On the jersey, 25 out of 199. And again, congrats, John. And then the last one out of pack 1. Braylon Marquez on the die cut for the Cubs. Out of 50. $12 of 45 actually on this one. Number 2, Yu Darvish for the Padres. One of 20 for you. Building blocks. Luis Garcia for the Nationals. $53 of 75 for Luis. And player worn on the jerseys. But congrats, Brad. Here's a cool one for Boston and Bobby Dahlbeck. Who do you suppose that's off of? This feels kind of Christmassy in person. It's like a dark green on the black here, or the background. $30 out of 99. Player worn for Bobby. Doesn't really seem like a sock though. I was almost thinking maybe like a jacket cuff or something. I don't know. Sharp looking card though. Congrats on that, Craig. Sorry I couldn't spell your name right. And Chris Bubik. Ew. 440 for the Royals. All right, pack 3. Trey Mancini for Baltimore. $61 of 75. And dynamic duo for the Royals, Bubik and Singer. And the royal blue color on top of that. 45 of 50. Congrats there, Matthew. Prospect jersey, O'Neal Cruz for the Pirates. 64 out of 99 for Mr. Cruz. Congrats on that, Emery. And our die cut is for Seattle and Jared Kelenic. $15 of 15 for Jared. Congrats on that, Matthew. All right, last pack out of box 3. Starts off Corbin Burns for Milwaukee. $26 out of 50 for Corbin. Evan White, Brilliance. $20 of 50. Again for Seattle and Matthew. Alejandro Kirk for the Blue Jays. $27 out of 99. Congrats, John. I think that's the first one for Toronto tonight so far. And back at it, Alex Manoah. Will get us through box 3. $12 of 75. Almost said 15 for a second, but that is a 7, I believe. Yep. All right, box 4, Pete Alonso. Kicks it off. And again, no numbers here for Pete. Brilliance, Brendan McKay for the Rays on the patch. $4 of 20 for McKay. Player worn. Congrats there, Emery. Lewis Brinson, gold catalyst for the Marlins. Marlins doing A-OK here tonight. 6 of 10 on the numbers for Lewis. And Alek Manoah, green this time. $18 of 30. pack 2. Rizzo for the Cubs. $18/40. Epic Legends. Albert Pujols for the Angels. It's like a pant seam or something there on the relic. Ah, 4 of 5 here for Albert. And it is game worn. Congrats on that, Emery. Pache for the Braves on the jersey auto. This should be out of 199, I believe. 168 out of 199. Or 188, sorry, out of 199. Congrats on that, Keith. And getting us halfway through box 4 is Brent Honeywell on the die cut. $21/35 for Brent. Garrett Cole kicks off pack number 3. $24/75 for Garrett and the Yankees. Building blocks, Josh Fleming for the Rays. $44/75. And player worn there for Josh. Spencer Torkelson, prospect jersey. Nice one there for the Tigers and Scott. 47/99 for Spencer. And Ian Anderson, rookie aura. We'll get us through pack 3. No numbers there. Last pack of box 4, Corbin Burns. $10/25. Braylon Marquez out of 75. Max Impact jersey. For the Cubs. Player worn. And Jared Oliva, jersey auto for the Pirates. $155 out of 199. And getting us halfway is Andrew Vaughn. $7/20 for Andrew. All right, I need to go grab a couple more top loaders. I'll be right back. I did not plan well enough for this. Alright, so far the case seems to be okay for me. Alright. I think I've caught myself up enough to get going on box number 5. JD Martinez, base for the Red Sox, starts off the second half. No numbers. Rising rookie Garrett Crochet for the White Sox. $45/75 for Garrett. Player worn there. Die cut for Marcano and the Padres. $8/45. And then we have a redemption. Neon Blue, Daz Cameron for the Tigers. And again, I believe this is going to be out of 50. Pack 2 starts off with a DJ LeMahieu. $8/35 for DJ. And the Yanks. Robert Stevenson for the Rockies. Game day spectacle. $48/75 for Robert. And I think this is the first Rockies for Matthew. And it's only game day in name. It's player worn for the jersey. Brent Rooker. Jersey auto for the Twins. $158/199 for Brent. Congrats on that, Shane. And then we have an Alec Bohm to get us halfway through box number 5. $24/75 for Alec. Pack 3, Donaldson for the Twins. $25/50 for Josh. Epic Legends, Ricky Henderson for Oakland. $17/50 up in the top here on the game worn jersey. Congrats on that, Matthew. Go back to Miami, Trevor Rogers on the jersey auto. 89 of 99. There for Trevor. And again, congrats, John. Mr. Badu on the die cut will get us through pack 3. $33 out of 45. Last pack out of box 5, Justin Verlander. For Houston, starts it off. 11 of 40 there for Justin. Michael Conforto, Fireworks Fabric. Just snuck the pinstripe in there. Two of 75 for the Mets. Congrats on that, Jose. And it is game worn there for Conforto. Phillies, Mickey Moniak, jersey auto. And Mickey is 6 out of 99. Last card out of box 5 is Luis Garcia for the excuse me, for the Nationals. Do not believe there's going to be any numbers here for Luis. And there is not. All right, number 6. Buster Posey, out of 50 for the Giants. $32 of 50 for Buster. Epic Legends, Gary Carter. Yeah, there's something you don't see every day. A hit for Gary Carter nowadays. Congrats on that for the Mets and Jose. It's kind of shiny up there. I don't know if that's a batting glove or what we got going on. 60 out of 75 for Gary. And game used, of course. Estevan Florial, jersey auto for the Yankees. $80 out of 199 for Estevan. And Dane Dunning. Get us through pack 1. 50 out of 75 for Dane and the Rangers. All right. Pack 2. Ozzie Albies for the Braves. $28 out of 40 for Ozzie. Fireworks Fabric for the Royals, Hunter Dozier. 8/75 for Hunter. And that is player worn. Well, here's the White Sox. Must be working. Dylan Cease, though, not the Lou Bob. On the auto. Sticker auto at that. And no numbers for Dylan. Then we got Chris Rodriguez for the die cut to get us halfway through box 6. $12/15 for Chris. Act 3, Trevor Story. $30/30 for Trevor. James Paxton on the Brilliance Relic. For the Yankees, 28 out of 75. And that is game worn for James. Congrats on that, John. Yeah, that's pretty sharp. Adonis Medina for the Phillies. One of 5 for Adonis. Congrats on that, Emery. I'll try to keep him up, or not knock him over more than 3 times on this flimsy stand I got. And then we got Dean Kremer to wrap up packs 3 for Baltimore. 16/40 there for Dean. All right, last out of 6, Nick Senzel. And the Reds kick it off. $8/75 for Nick. Heimer Candelario for the Tigers on the Brilliance Relic. $55/75. And it is player worn. Base Joe Adele. For the Angels. And a redemption is for Daz Cameron on the base jersey auto. And the Tigers. All right, box 7. Garrett Cole for the Yanks. $12/35 for Garrett. Monumental, Travis Darnold. And the Braves. Nice of them to put the Mets blue pinstripe in the card for the Braves. Guess it's a before and after. No numbers for Travis. Congrats on that, Jose. Jahmai Jones, jersey auto for the Orioles. Correction, for the Angels. Got Los Angeles scrolling across the top on this one. $174 out of $199 for Jahmai. Never noticed that either. Chronicles Spectra Baseball. And a die cut blended into the box. Jonathan Stever for the White Sox. $31 out of $45 for Mr. Stever. All right, pack 2, Chris Bryant. $18 out of $45 for Chris. Bobby Witt Jr., next era for the Royals. About ready to say that we kind of slowed down here a little bit. No numbers for Bobby. But then I saw the back of this card. Joe Adell. Jersey auto for the Angels. $183 out of $199. Congrats on that, Emery. And then we got Nick Madrigal base. Going the wrong way on the Cook job. No numbers there for Nick. All right. Pack number 3, Yordan Alvarez on the base. Next era, Nick Gonzalez for the Pirates. $28 out of $50 for Nick. Congrats on that, Emery. Another redemption is on a rookie aura for Kohei Ariara. $28 to $30 for Ariara and the Rangers. And this redemption, USA Sig for Evan White and Seattle. All right, last pack out of number 7. Kyle Lewis for Seattle starts it off. How about that for the Mariners? I was so distracted by what was coming up next. Oh, where's the 50s? I don't know if this is a nebula or what the 101s are in Spectra. There you go. Nice one for Kyle. Congrats on that, Matthew. I was distracted by the Joe Adele solar eclipse right behind it. Probably going to be 25 minutes or so, Haywood. As soon as this one's done, I'll clean up the table and start it up again. Angels and Emery, congrats. Colton Welker for the Rockies. $54.75 for Colton. And David Peterson on the jersey auto for the Mets. Oh, yeah, I started this like 15 minutes late today, so I'm all behind times here. 64 out of 99 for David. And it's my first complete case of Spectra, so I budgeted wrong for how long this was going to take. Last card for box 7, David Peterson. Again. Die cut for him this time. 6 of 35 for the Mets. All right, last box. That's my top loaders. One touches fall over here. All right, no peeking. Anthony Rendon for the Angels. What numbers there for Mr. Rendon? And hey, the first one for my Indians. Bobby Bradley. And my Monumental Black. 10 of 20. Edward Olivares for the Royals on the jersey auto. $24 out of $199 for Edward. And Matthew, congrats again. And we got Leody Taveras out of 50 to get us through pack 1. $9 of 50 for Mr. Taveras. Number 2, Gleyber Torres. $47 to $75. Another cool one for the Angels. Joe Adell with the button. Shohei with the patch. Uh, 10 of 10. It apparently is going to be all player worn. That's cool for Emery and the Angels. Pete Alonso for the Mets. On the signatures. This is a really thick card for what it is. Congrats on that, Jose. $64.99 for Pete. And the last card out of the first pack, Trevor Larnach. For the Twins. 6 of 8 there for Trevor. All right, pack 3. Jeff McNeil for the Mets. $20 of 40 for Jeff. And we got Zach Veen, next era relic. For Colorado, 8 of 75 for Zach. Congrats again, Matthew. Nice one for the White Sox. It's not a Lubob, but could do a lot worse. Nick Madrigal, Radiant Rookie. Even if he plays across town now. 7 of 15 for Nick. And all player worn on the patches. And Luis Campusano base will get us to the last pack. Alright, here we go. Get a little magic out of here. Byron Buxton out of 50. For the Twins. 20 of 50 here for Byron. Building blocks, William Contreras for the Braves. Five of 75 for William. Our final patch auto, Chris Bubik for the Royals. And jersey auto, I should say, not a patch. Eight of 99 for Chris. And our final card is a die cut for the Red Sox and Sawamura. Three of 45. To wrap it up. All right. That was my first case of seeing Spectra in its entirety. I don't think it was too bad, all things considered. All right. Recap wise, Trevor Larnach was out of 8. Casey Mize is also out of 8. I won't bore you with rattling off these names again, but for those catching it in the morning. Stack number 3 here. I think those two guys were the only ones sub 10 out of the coloreds and die cuts. Alright, last stack. Oh, Devers is out of 10. And then there was this refractor type deal for Madrigal. There was no numbers there. For what it's worth, the bases with no numbers. Let's get like one a box for those guys. All right, relics. Hang on here. All right, William Contreras, building block. 75. Zach Veen, Bobby Bradley, Colton Welker, Nick Gonzalez, Bobby Witt, Darnode, Candelario, Paxton, Dozier, Gary Carter, Conforto, Ricky Henderson, Stevenson, Crochet, and Marquez. Then we got Fleming, McKay, White, Singer, Bubik, Luis Garcia, Minter, and Votto. Votto here is out of 10. 15 for Joey and game used. Then we got Jahmai Jones, Bubba Starlin, Will Crow, Varsho, Jason Dominguez, and another Michael Conforto. Autos. Ubik. Madrigal. Alonso. Olivares. David Peterson. USA SIG redemption for Evan White. Adele. Jahmai Jones for the Angels. Daz Cameron. The first one for Daz. Base Spectra jersey auto. Dylan Cease. Florial. Moniak. Trevor Rogers and Brent Rooker. Alright. Daz Cameron in blue this time. Oliva. Torkelson. Pache. Out of 10 for Lewis Brinson. Alejandro Kirk. O'Neill Cruz. Bobby Delbeck. Cool card there. And Lewin Diaz. And Andrew Vaughn. Jazz Chisholm. Tucker Davidson. Braylon Marquez. Neon Blue. Nick Nieder. And Jose Garcia. And our showcase, laying down off on the side here, is a random we'll do here in a second. For Blake Snell. Tampa and San Diego. That's out of 10. Button patch, Adele Otani out of 10 for the Angels. Another one for the Angels and Pujols, game used out of 5. Medina, patch auto out of 5. Slam and Sammy out of 10. Dual patches for the Marlins, Sixto and Braxton Garrett out of 10. The Eclipse for Joe Adele. It's a cool card, I like that. And a 101, Kyle Lewis. So, alright, well, if you don't want to hang around for the random, I appreciate all the bids. I'll have this out on Monday for you guys. And those that are kind of stumbling in looking for the archives, I will do that here in just a second. I'll clean off the table and I'll send out another video link. Have a good night, Slabs. All right. All right, here we go. Tampa will be first, and the Rays, or Padres will be second, left to right on the card. Has to be more than 5, and it needs to flip. The list needs to flip at least once. All right, here we go. 8. All right, good luck. 2 with a flip. 4. 6. 7. And to win. 8 for the Padres. All right, Padres. Kim, congrats. I don't think Padres had too much other than this, so congrats on getting that at the end. So, all right, well, that'll do it for this break. Again, I appreciate all the bids. Thanks for getting in. Good luck on whatever you got coming up break-wise, and have a good Sunday. If I don't see you for archives, which will be up here in just a little bit.